Good evening. There's a lot of people here today. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, let's do this. We can get home and get to bed. That we're here for it. We don't have hubris. We don't expect these games to come easy. We obviously take all these games serious. So I really appreciate the battle tonight. I appreciate the competition. And you know what? I probably would have been okay if we would have lost. I'm really happy we won, but to keep things moving. So yeah, I learned that our guys are here for it, and you put them in tough situations. They're not afraid to make plays and find a way in a really tough game.
How impressed have you been with Toby's development since he got here last season?
I mean, tremendous. I was talking to Coach Ken about it today, and just how much better he's gotten is really impressive. And that's what you get when you have a high character, intelligent, talented player. You give him a little bit of time and kind of let him start feeling the effects of the compound return on his investment and his development, and we're starting to see that. So it's great to have a lot of guys you can count on.
Three-point defense, just what did you see out there? I think 10 plus tonight. Was it just one
Well,
of those nights?
we had some breakdowns in our ball screen coverage, but I'll tell you what, number five's a tough player. I mean, when you're allowed to take 24 shots and you're a little jitterbug, and you could split ball screens, you can pass under pressure. I mean, you're a hard guard. You're a hard guard, and if you play back, he'll shoot a pull-up three. If you play up, he can find the short roll, and then their big fella hit a bunch of little short range, little mid-range shots and floaters to kind of start the game. So, their answers to our coverages and stuff, they had answers for him early, and they were able to. Sometimes you have an answer in execution, but you don't have, you miss the shot. So that's basketball. But today, they had answers, and they made a lot of timely shots. So nothing but respect for them, and tip my hat to them.
The kind of game that Ivon is built for, just his style of play, his scrappiness.
I think Yvonne's built for every game. You maybe can give me an example of one he's not built for, but the guy's a winner, and he's doing a great job. He's playing with a couple point guard type guys. So Yvonne, his playmaking's really good too. He just probably hasn't gotten quite enough opportunities to show it yet, and maybe over the course of the season or his career he will. I thought he was great down the stretch of the game, and he kind of, he had a drive to the basket, to make an easy layup. He had a quick rip drive up top where he got fouled and won the double bonus and made both free throws. So that's big time stuff.
Coach Koa got out to a little bit of a slow start offensively tonight, but responded in a big way in that second half. For a freshman to show that kind of resilience, just what does that say about him?
Yeah, obviously Koa understands what this game means maybe more than other guys. So, maybe he kind of had to adjust to it a little bit, and I'm sure, he really, really wanted to play well today. And, one of the things we talk about a lot in our program is, the undisciplined want of more. Maybe early in the game he was a little too aggressive, and got sped up a little bit, and in an effort to help our team, but maybe he was a little bit, undisciplined with it. So he really reeled that in the second half, and, obviously, he had great numbers today and played a really big game, especially down the stretch.
Kind of a cheat code for Koa being his effort and energy. Just another great performance on the glass, kind of back-to-back games with.
Now listen, we got to go watch the defense. I haven't had enough time to see that yet, because that's part of his equation too, because he can be so dynamic on that end of the floor. But we asked him to do a lot today. He played 34 minutes. Obviously he was cramping up a little bit at the end, so part of that was due to some foul trouble Mo got in the second half. And then we ended up with a lineup that I just felt like I felt like we were in position to close the game until we gave up a crazy made three foul. We got to be a little smarter in that situation. And, I think that play, Ivon was hustling. He tips the ball on the sideline, and then he dives for it. To me, the ball's going in the backcourt, shot clock's winding down. Be disciplined. It would have been an amazing hustle play had he got it, but, I don't think the odds were in his favor of making the play. So be disciplined, because if you make them pick up the ball and now we're guarding them, keeping the guy in front, it's a little tougher for him to get momentum, because that puts Tobe in a really tough spot. You have a little guard coming at him at full speed who's shooting a pull-up three. The guy's probably jumping 4 or 5 feet forward with his momentum, and we're on these guys to contest shots. You kind of end up in his landing area. So just another example of something we can learn from at the end of the games. But but his effort was great.
How much of the game plan was to play inside, especially down low with Koa and Locke? It seemed like you had that mismatch available all night.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was all night. I'm telling you, 35 affects a lot of shots around there, and there are other guys play really hard as well. You just, you hope you can wear them out physically a little bit. You can hope you can, maybe curb some of their aggression with some foul pressure. Yeah, I mean, listen, our going inside's always, part and parcel of our game plan. So I think our guys had a little more wherewithal in the second half to get there.
You said that you would have been okay had you lost tonight. What makes you say that, Tom?
Well, I mean, listen, I understand it's part of the process. And, I mean, would I have been happy? No. But, like, I'm going to be all right. I'm built for this. I think, guys, I don't, like, judge myself on whether, and my team on whether we're undefeated or not. Literally has zero impact. That's for you guys. We got through tonight. We wanted to. I told our guys today, I don't care about the Big 12 championship today. I don't care about the NCAA tournament. I just care about beating Arizona State. Let's just beat Arizona State today, and then you know what? We'll deal with what comes next. And what comes next is a tough road game at UCF. So I'm just going to stay locked into that in that mindset. I'm not going to get greedy.
Did you anticipate them being so aggressive? I mean, physically tough.
For sure. Come on, I knew they were going to come out and play. They always do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, Bobby's a ferocious competitor, one of the greatest college basketballs ever to play. This dude's been coaching for a long time. He knows how to get a team amped up and to respond. And yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not surprised at all the way they played and with the effort and physicality they gave. I mean, I would expect nothing less. And I appreciate the competition.
How do you handle your guys? You're talking about like some of the texts that have happened over the season and trying to get them to celebrate just with their guys, and then you have a game like this with all this emotion. Braden's getting into it with another guy.
I have no idea what happened on that one. It was so far away from me, and then it was it was a offsetting deal, so it didn't really impact the game. But it did. Braden picked up a foul, and then you pick up another one. Now you got two. You know what I mean? That impacts minutes and subbing. So that's why I don't know what happened. So I literally have no idea. I didn't ask, our players. I didn't ask our staff. I didn't ask the officials. We just kept it moving.
In general, just the emotion of a game like this, is it more challenging to keep the guys kind of focused? Like
I don't think so. I think we play in a lot of intense environments and emotional games. I think we have for the most part pretty steady guys. So like I don't think that played into it.
Bradley had 3 fouls in the first half and then none in the second half. Last week we talked about, we went through kind of everybody else and then got to the end and hadn't brought him up. Yeah. Just kind of his maturity, especially in an emotional, physical game like this, just to be calm and poised and kind of be that closer that he is for Arizona.
Yeah, I honestly had some thoughts there. I'm like, man, he's so important to us. Do I play him with 3 fouls, to start out the half? Because he picks up one, you're probably sitting him for a long stretch. Yeah, so we decided we trust him because we do trust him, and we went out there, and obviously he proved himself right. I would say more than anything. He's a winner, has a ton of belief in himself, and the beautiful thing about JB, it's never about him. It's always about the team and his teammates. So I appreciate what he brings to the team, and I appreciate him being able to handle with poise, and professionalism a tough foul situation.
About this also, handling this without Krivas because of foul trouble. The other guys stepped up.
Yeah, it was great, and they were playing good and gave us a little bit of mobility, out there. And not that Mo doesn't, but just I felt like, we kind of got that lead, and there was an opportunity maybe to put Mo back in, but, we kind of just looked at it and decided to go a little bit smaller maybe if we were going to sub. But, Mo, he has to hang with it. Mo's really coming on. And when you're a big guy and you're really coming on, the other team picks it up on you. And usually what picking it up means is way more physical. And, it's just one of those things, inside they don't call the first hit very much. So you got to be able to play through it and not get frustrated. I mean, I know, there's a number of tough plays in the TCU game, and I'm sure there's some tough plays tonight. I haven't watched the film, obviously. So, he's got to hang with it because he brings so much to this team, and, he's got to keep his head high and his energy good because he's a really good player who's getting, he's getting a lot of attention from the other teams.
How did that decision come about where you guys went out this way and ASU went down your tunnel? Was that to avoid a problem?
Man, I should ask Rachel to come explain it. I have no idea. I had no idea, but you know what? I think it's a great idea. And, you know, I told Bobby before the game, you know, it's no secret, you know, he and I, we don't talk every day, but, you know, we have a decent, you know, relationship. You know, I just told him, I'm saying, Bobby, whatever our fans are saying to you, you don't deserve, you know, because I want to let them know from one coach to the next, because you know what? I've played at Arizona State, you know, and it hasn't been crazy, you know, and I've been called a lot of things in my life. But you know, you know, I just wanted to let him know that, you know, I respect him as a human being and a person and a coach. So, you know, whatever our fans are saying, that's just part of fandom. It's not real. So I think that's a brilliant idea to take him out the other side. We don't need, you know, anything with one of our students or one of them, you know, that you know, impacts, you know, two teams that are, you know, trying to build these seasons. We don't need anything outside of the game impacting that.
Is that something that could be a regular thing or just?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, listen, I would hope Arizona fans are classy enough to not make it a regular thing and respect our competition and respect our opponents. And if we get beat, you tip your hat to them and you move on. You know, I mean, instead of yelling, you know, vulgar things. But you know, yeah. So I have no idea, Bruce, how that came up. I was surprised as anybody when I said I wasn't surprised, but I'm like, that's a heck of an idea. Somebody should have thought of that earlier. UCLA probably agrees with that a few years ago.
Just curious, the transfer portal going to 15 days, do you think that has an impact as far as?
I mean, Bruce, I read it. I've heard about it, obviously, that it could happen. I mean, you know what? We'll adjust. We'll adjust. There's so many things going on right now. To me, that's minutia, you know, compared to everything else and the other decisions we got to make on this deal. It's just like every day. I mean, if you wanted to live and die by it, man, what a roller coaster that would be. I prefer to live and die with basketball games, not the rules surrounding the basketball games, because whatever rule they make today is going to be changed in 3 days when some, you know, so like, I'm just like, man, I have no time for that stuff right now.
Wasn't some of it that you all did, it was distracting from the tournament, all these announcements about it, and now that's maybe going to happen a little less?
Hey, here's my stance. I'm the head coach at Arizona. I love my basketball team. I'm going to have trust. Believe it or not, I'm going to have trust in the powers that be to make the decisions. I have no time to waste on giving input on these things, because it's so crazy right now that if I gave input, why would I emotionally want to get invested in something that's like, I give input and I think it's a great idea and they don't do it and now my feelings are hurt. My team needs my attention right now. And I'm going to trust the administrators and the powers that be to make great decisions to move our game forward. Because you know what? We have a great game. The game of college basketball is great. That game out there was great tonight. Some of the stuff that are surrounding the game, maybe not so great. But let's keep our focus on the game. The game. That's where the focus should be, because it's really special. And eventually this is all going to be worked out. And hopefully we quit talking about the other stuff. We're just focusing on the game.
How impactful, just going back to the crowd, is the crowd in a game tonight, which is an in-state rival, and a 7-point game ultimately?
I mean, they're great. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, thank God we played at home today. You know, obviously it's a little bit of an advantage, and I thought our crowd was great. It's great to have the students back, but you know, it's great. You know, our fans have been turning out. You know, I mean, you know, Tucson loves Arizona basketball, and Arizona basketball loves Tucson right back. So we're thankful for everything they gave us today, and you know, they weren't fans today. They were participants. They helped get us to the finish line.
Thanks, Coach.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.